All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel, bringing you crypto news for 4 years now. And Ethereum developer pleads guilty for conspiracy to violate sanctions laws. Now, I believe this happened in 2019, and it is finally coming to a conclusion. So Ethereum developer Virgil Griffith has pleaded guilty to a federal charge that he conspired with North Korea to violate United States sanctions laws. On Monday, Griffith pleaded guilty in New York to conspiring to violate the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which forbids U.S. citizens from exporting technology and intellectual property to communist countries. As part of the plea deal, Griffith could face up to 6.5 years in prison. Formal sentencing is expected to commence in January 2022. Virgil, who served as a senior researcher for the Ethereum Foundation, was arrested in November 2019 after attending a conference in the North Korean capital of Pyongyang earlier in the year. Prosecutors alleged that the developer gave a presentation on how to launder money and evade sanctions using blockchain technology. And Griffith's plea deal came just as jury selection was set to begin in New York, as the Wall Street Journal reported the trial was likely to touch on complex matters involving questions of free speech and North Korea's relations with the United States. So it looks like old Virgil Griffith was trying to pump Ethereum and maybe have North Korea start buying that ETH and using it to launder money, which is just like the worst idea ever. I mean, sure, like bring them blockchain technology, but if you went to a conference specifically to tell a country who the United States, particularly in 2019, there was a lot of problems with North Korea and the United States. Probably still is, but the whole Trump thing and going over there, yada, yada, the threats back and forth to each other. And then talk about laundering money and evading sanctions with it. I really don't know what the guy was thinking. Not the greatest idea I've ever heard in my life. Moving on here, Coinbase dives deeper into banking by letting users deposit paychecks into their account. So, hey, adoption is bullish. Why not? I don't see why you couldn't just deposit your paycheck into your bank account and then take money from your bank account and bring it to Coinbase. But I suppose this just takes a step away from that. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase is going to go deeper into traditional finance services, allowing users to deposit paychecks directly into their online accounts. Coinbase said Monday that U.S. customers will be able to use the direct deposit service for any percentage of their paycheck. They can hold their money in dollars or immediately transfer it into cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin with no fees. With direct deposit, customers can more easily access our crypto-first financial services and be ready for any trade or purchase. And we're determined to deliver the most trustful full suite of crypto-first financial services to our 68 million users. And the launch, which goes live in the coming weeks, comes after customers complain that frequent transfers from their bank accounts to Coinbase are time-consuming and inconvenient, the company said. Coinbase added that it aims to give instant access to the crypto economy. So that's pretty true. I agree with that, because if you use a bank transfer, like the ACH transfer, it takes several days, 3, 5, sometimes 6 business days to actually get your money on the platform, and then you can begin buying, trading, etc., which is quite a while. If you want to put some money into it immediately and buy something, you definitely can't use that option. So this is a good DCA option to just, every $100 every paycheck or something like that. And that does make it quite a bit more convenient. There are other ways to get cryptocurrency instantly on Coinbase. One is, of course, with a debit or credit card, but unfortunately the fees are absolutely egregious if you use those options. And that's likely not necessarily Coinbase. It might be a bit of Coinbase, but that's also the actual carrier like MasterCard or Visa charging them that fee as well. So I'm not really sure who's the bigger blame, whether that's Coinbase or the cards themselves. And an instant bank transfer like a money wire is insanely expensive as well. Another thing that Coinbase did was make instant purchases even with a bank transfer. The problem with that, though, is like, let's say I instantly transfer $1,000. I can buy the Bitcoin right away, and I can begin trading it, but I actually can't move it back and forth in between Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. and you cannot transfer it off of the platform. And I've done that before to instantly buy, a dip or something like that. And you have to wait even longer than an ACH transfer, which makes no sense. It's really strange, and it wouldn't let me move the crypto out of the account for like 9 or 10 days. So it takes forever. So I suppose this is a pretty good, a new feature, I suppose, particularly for those who DCA invest every week anyway. Nobody knows who controls the keys to El Salvador's Bitcoin, and that's bad. So El Salvador brings Bitcoin to the people, and some say that there's millions of users. Other people say that nobody even wants Bitcoin in El Salvador, so we're not getting the truth here. And one thing, and this is adoption, and this is great news in the sense that a country is just like, hey, we're just going to totally acquire it. There's going to be very little to no taxes on this. Some other South American countries, whereas El Salvador is more like Latin America, but some other South American countries as well. I think Uruguay or Paraguay or something like that. I think another one are interested in doing the same thing. But the big question is this article right here. El Salvador officially recognized Bitcoin as legal tender earlier this month. Super cool. But many questions remain unanswered, including one all-important question for security purposes. Who controls the private keys of the country's Bitcoin stash? There are so many things that are not being disclosed. For example, who's holding the private keys to these Bitcoin? Somebody asks. Also, what's the criteria for saying, oh, today we're going to buy more Bitcoin and we're going to wait until we're going to wait till next month? We don't know that because as El Salvador officially recognized Bitcoin on the day it dipped something like 10%, and they bought that dip. Who is telling them? Is it the president? Is what form of government, what individual is saying, let's buy this now or let's buy this later, and who is holding these private keys? Because one mistake and every citizen that is using the Chivo app, which is basically the national app for their Bitcoin, it just goes under. So what I suggest now, in case there's one or two El Salvadoran people watching this, get your own Bitcoin account. Or Bitcoin wallet, I mean. On September 6th, one day before Bitcoin officially became legal tender, Bukele's regime purchased 400 Bitcoin. You guys love that pronunciation, huh? Flawless, I know. Each purchase is a risk for the country's treasury, considering Bitcoin's volatility. At that time, Bitcoin was trading 53,000. One day later, it plummeted 10%. Not to be dissuaded, El Salvador president bought the dip last week and increased El Salvador's total holdings to 700 Bitcoin, while Salvadorans continue to ask questions. And I find this a little bit interesting because MicroStrategy literally has more money than a nation on the planet Earth. El Salvador has 700 Bitcoin, and MicroStrategy has something like 90-some thousand Bitcoin, somewhere around there. Are they planning on purchasing more? Serrano asks, adding, what is the process? Who is controlling this? Who is overseeing this? So El Salvador's private keys are not the only part of the government's Bitcoin brace that's generating questions. Serrano also said that the government has not disclosed the criteria for choosing providers for the Chivo wallet. All these answers are being demanded by the Salvadorans. So that's another good question is, all right, so we have this Chivo wallet, but where is the Bitcoin being held? Is it like by a third-party company? Is it by the government? Is there just a treasury department where there's just a Bitcoin guy and he's got it written down on a piece of paper and he's just like, no, this is fine. And then he has a Bitcoin wallet and the Chivo accesses that Bitcoin wallet. Like, how does this work? And I don't think enough people, including myself, really asked all these questions. And they're starting to pour out every day that I make a video. More and more questions are being asked about this, and which is weird because I love Bitcoin so much. I mean, clearly I've been doing this for 4 years straight, and the Chivo wallet is very questionable. What is the criteria to buy more Bitcoin? Where is it being held? Who controls the private keys? Serrano did not go as far as to outrightly accuse President the president's government of hiding information to the public, but pointed out the obvious tension between Bitcoiners' commitment to transparency and the lack of public information. There's no space to make wrong calls on this, and we need to be transparent because the cryptocurrency community cares about these principles. And so the article continues to go on, and it's interesting. It says there is no in the middle. They say, between the Bitcoin influencers who have cheered Bukele and the skeptics who have called the experiment into question, Serrano says the truth lies somewhere in the middle. There is a point in the middle, she said, between the FUD people saying no one in El Salvador wants Bitcoin, but also the claim that over 1 million people are already using Bitcoin for transactions. It's the point in the middle, somewhere in the middle. A lot of people are not liking this, and a lot of people are. But then again, there's a lot of unanswered questions about this, and of course I will keep you guys updated whenever there is news about this and we finally figure out, like, where is this Bitcoin, where is it being held, how is it being stored, what does the Chivo wallet do? Is it just connecting to a Bitcoin wallet and there's just some dude in a room in the Treasury Department that is just like Bitcoin on his chest and he's just like, no, I got this? It's a good question. Moving on to the final news, Bitfinex paid a colossal $23 million fee to send 100K of Tether. So crypto exchange Bitfinex completed a highly consequential transaction on September 27th when sending $100,000 of the stablecoin Tether to the Layer 2 subsidiary platform Diversify. For reasons unknown, the exchange paid 7,676 Ethereum, equivalent to $23 million, marking quite possibly the largest gas fee ever recorded on the Ethereum blockchain. And you know what? I'm actually interested. I will probably, after this video, go and check just how much Ethereum was burned on that transaction. I'll try to find that. Maybe I'll have that for you guys next time. According to blockchain data from Etherscan, the deposit transaction was initiated at 11:10 UTC. From Bitfinex's second largest wallet via a second address to the wallet of Diversify. The transaction carried an erroneously high fee. You could say that. Even through Diversify promotes a service to avoid gas costs and frustration, saving you time and money with every trade or swap. To put the enormity of this fee into context, consider the fact that the average transaction fee on the Ethereum blockchain currently stands at 0.013 ETH, or about $40, which again is absolutely egregiously high. And the moment these fees get down sub $1 is when Ethereum is truly going to take off. Because if you go on to an Ethereum NFT website, and you want to buy several small NFTs that you think might go up in value, say there's a new series of NFTs or something like that, or just things you genuinely enjoy, and you decide to buy them all for a few dollars each, you end up paying $43 basically for something that's $3, and now you need it to go 15x before you're even going to be able to sell it for even reasonable profit at all. And that's the problem. So you could transfer $1 million, no problem. I mean, $40 out of something like that is pretty negligible. But the amount of volume and the amount of transactions that would increase so significantly when these fees are gone, and you guys will see that day. One day. In addition to this, 2 weeks ago, 2 billion of BTC was transferred between unknown wallets for an infinitesimal small fee of 78 cents. Infinitesimal fee of 78 cents. I got this, guys. Again, I can talk. I'm the best. Diversify revealed that they have launched investigative procedures to determine the most probable cause of the matter, while also adding that no customer funds on Diversify are at risk. This is an internal issue for Diversify to resolve, as well as that operations are unaffected. So I think the problem that either occurred is one of two things. Somebody messed up real bad with that fee, or two, somebody is trying to launder a lot of money, and considering that it's Bitfinex, that really wouldn't surprise me at all. But moving on here to CoinGecko, 42,427 Bitcoin, 2,946 Ethereum. So yesterday's video, we were at 3,100 Ethereum, and the day before that, we were at 2,900. So hey, look at us coming right back to that $2,900 Ethereum. Nothing really up. In the 24-hour period, Bitcoin is down by 2.8%, Ethereum is down by 5.3%, and that is pretty much across the board. We got a couple at 7 or 8% here, but for the most part, there are plenty of losers in the past day, although not by much and nothing particularly special in the cryptocurrency industry. However, in the last 1 hour, things are coming up about 0.5% overall. But that's all I have for you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to help out the channel. Another thing you can do is click that subscriber bell, because YouTube will not give you notifications unless you click that bell, because they rearranged their whole system and don't feel like telling their subscribers that that they have videos to watch. But that's all I have for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. As usual, I'll see you guys next time.